All right, so let's go ahead and move into Eclipse. So the first thing I want to do is just change over my perspective. Right now, you're probably in the Java EE perspective, and we want to change that. So let me go to my Window menu option, and I'll say Perspective, and here I'll say Open Perspective, and I'll just choose Java, just a regular Java perspective, just to get us started. And yeah, so we just have a plain vanilla Eclipse right now. Nothing's here. We're actually going to create our first project in Eclipse. So I'll go to File, New, and I'll say Java Project. Now, the name I'll give for this project, I'll call it Spring Demo 1. You can give any name you want, but let's just keep this one here just to stay consistent with the rest of the video. And then I'll hit Finish. All right, so I have a very empty project, nothing's there. What I'd like to do is actually go ahead and start downloading some of the Spring jar files, and I'll actually add it to this project. So let me swing over to my web browser, and I want to download the Spring jar files. So you can go to lovetocode.com/download Spring. This will basically just redirect you to the real Spring website of where you can download files. And you'll see something very similar to what we have here, the index of, and they give you a list of all these little subdirectories. So this is basically Spring's repository of all the different versions of Spring, even since way back when. So what I'd like to do is go ahead and kind of scroll down to the bottom here. And what we want to do here is choose the latest release. Just choose the latest one there. They'll take you to a directory. And then here you choose the release dist.zip. Whatever your version number is, choose release dist.zip. And that's the only one you need to do to select. So go ahead and click that file. Your web browser will prompt you to save the file, and then you go ahead and save that file to your file system. Okay, great. So we have it downloaded. Now, what we can do is we can kind of swing over to our file system and take a look at it. So I'm on a Mac. I just go into my downloads directory, choose whatever downloads directory you have in your operating system. There's that zip file that was just downloaded. You can simply unzip it, and it'll expand everything for you. So there we go, a new folder called Spring Framework Release. And I can expand this folder here, and this is basically the Spring Framework. So they have docs, libs, and schema, and readmes, and so on. We're interested in the lib folder, the libs folder, actually, plural. And there's a lot of jar files in here. What we're going to do is actually select all of the jar files, because we'll make use of them in some of our upcoming videos. So you simply select all of those jar files, right click, and choose copy. Now, you really don't need all of these jar files for right now, but we'll just go ahead and keep it simple. We'll just copy everything over there. Even if there's some duplicates, we'll just copy them anyway, and we'll make use of them in our project. So we're just kind of keeping things simple for right now. So I move back into Eclipse. I move back to that project that we just created, Spring Demo 1, and I want to create a new folder. So I do a right click, and I choose folder. And for the name of the folder, I'll call it lib, L-I-B. Real simple. And then we hit the finish button. So great. So Eclipse creates a new folder here for us called lib. What I want to do is simply paste those jar files that I just copied, all those Spring jar files. I simply want to paste them here in this folder. So I do a right click and choose paste, and then we see the output. So we have all these jar files. So this is really cool. We have those jars copied over. So this is cool. But now there's one other thing we have to do. We actually need to add this to the class path of our Eclipse project. So in our Eclipse project, at the root of it, right click on Spring Demo 1 and do a right click and choose Properties. All right, so this brings up the Properties dialog. There's an option here on the left called Java Build Path. Go ahead and select that. And then there's a little tab here called Libraries. Click on that one. And now we're going to choose Add Jars, because we want to add all those jars that we just added to the project. So we expand our little folder here for Spring Demo 1, go to lib, and then just scroll all the way down and grab all those Spring jar files. Just do a shift click, highlight all those jar files, and then hit OK. So now it's going to add these jar files to our class path, and then go ahead and click the OK button one more time. And then there we go. So now you should see this new item over on the left-hand side called reference libraries. So now this is where Eclipse is saying, hey, these are some jar files that I'm going to reference for application runtime and compile. We're in good shape. So if you have this part set up, then you're good to go. So that's really it for downloading the Spring jar files and setting up your project. So what we'll do is we'll actually use this project in some of the following videos to start building some Spring applications. So you're almost there. Yay!